Morning. Don't you just love sunrise? A real effort sometimes, isn't it? Today I'm down at Southerndown Bay, which is pretty much Cardiff area of South Wales. It's absolutely gorgeous around here. It's really, really lovely. I did actually get the weather forecast a bit wrong, and the sky is really clear. It's going to be a lovely morning, but it is a really, really clear start to the day. So no drama coming from it. The sun is going to be rising in that direction, obviously, but nothing exciting is going to happen, I don't think. But we're looking for some foreground, wandering around the rocks, and Kelly's in scout mode, see if we can find a nice either leading line or a bit of foreground interest. So yeah, see you in a minute. I'm quite surprised how far the tide is in. It's supposed to be quite near low tide, which I actually thought the tide would be further out than that. So I'm quite surprised. But sunrise is, well, the next 20 minutes. So we haven't really got much time to find something that leads in that direction, probably off to that cliff edge up there. And we've probably got about 10 minutes to find the spot, and I can't really do much quickly around here because it's absolutely lethal. If you slip on these, it's pretty much game over. She's really not loving this. She can't get up the rocks, they're too big for her. Yeah, I think this is what we'll do. So what I'll do is I'll set up here, I'll get the movement in the water just there in the foreground. I'll try and pitch the tripod so that the line, so you can see the side of the line of the bank there of the rocks off there, and hopefully then by the time sun rises, which pretty much is now, you'll have that light going across there. It's still quite dark in the foreground, even though I've just put on a 0.9 grad ND filter. And what I'm trying to do is, with all the movement in the water over this mini waterfall in the foreground, I'm just waiting for the water to come back off them rocks, and it kind of follows up to where the cliffs are. So with the polarizer on, just to get rid of the glare off the water, off the rocks even. Okay, it's got a bit wet there. A wave comes to splash me. Okay, so let's talk you through my settings. Obviously ISO is as low as it will possibly go, which is ISO 200 on the XT2, and we've got an aperture of f16 just to give the depth of field. So the aperture is f16, ISO is 200, and I'm quite a slow shutter at the minute. I don't really like being that slow, to be honest. I'd rather be about there, so I'll have to up the aperture a bit. 1.6 just gives enough motion in the water for me. I don't really tend to go below that. So just waiting for the waves to hit the rocks, and then the water will run off the rocks. Oh, that mini waterfalls all along. Yeah, so just a waiting game now. I've been watching the waves. On occasion we'll get big ones like that where they just completely drench the rocks. So we could potentially get a nice bit of motion as it goes up over the rock. But what I do like is when the water comes back off the rocks there and it makes a little waterfall like it is doing now. So camera's on the tripod with a little cable release. Just so I can control when the exposure is going to be. And yeah, so just nice sharp foreground, f18, boom. I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with them images. I keep looking back on the back of the screen and when the camera got soaked, I've just got a feeling there's the filters have just gone a bit hazy. I've tried cleaning them, but I get this off and filters drive me nuts. They're lovely filters, but when they get wet, they seem to be absolute sod. Well, with seawater anyway. So I'm gonna have another go. I'm gonna wait a little bit, see if the light changes. I might go for a wander along the coast there that way, Dog's going to be happy with that. So the tide is going out quite quick, so we're going to have to look for a different foreground anyway. But the light on the hills, on the beginning of the hills there, is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm hoping, I think I've lost the waterfall effect on the front there anyway. So I'm going to have to move down a bit and see what else we can find. So I found another spot I like. It's still very, very dark in the foreground here, darker than I thought it would in all honesty, but I really love the texture and these rocks here, and obviously still got waves knocking up against them rocks, leading over to where the sunlight is on the hills over in the background. So what I'm looking for is a safe place to leave the camera without any risk of getting it wet again. So I like the idea of popping the camera down there, having that movement there in the foreground, if you can see that. Yeah, I think that'll be lovely. This rock is gorgeous, the detail in it is absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to give that a couple of seconds just to see if that's a safe place to put the camera, and we'll go from there. There is a strong possibility that this was a stupid idea. Right, okay, very quickly. F16, foreground is the rock that I mentioned earlier. The light is absolutely gorgeous through there, so still got the ND8 grad on there just to bring the sky down, hopefully keep that detail in there. ISO is 100 now on the XT2. It's got an update that allows it to go down to ISO 100 in mechanical shutter, so we'll give that a go. I do hear that the dynamic range isn't as good, but we'll try that out. So F16, 2/5 of a second, 10mm on the XF 10 to 24, and we'll just get the cable release ready and wait for a wave to go over the rocks. Let's have a look at that. Oh. So I'm hoping I'll get this bit of movement in the foreground down here, in the immediate foreground as well. That's my focal point, but I should be able to get that movement there as well. Fingers crossed. I never seem to be able to do this without getting wet. Feet just get soaked. I knew it was a bit of a risk, but hopefully it'll be worth it. I've just got to stay in these clothes all day. I was hoping to make a day of this. I've moved the camera again, as you can see, just as the tide keeps changing. Whoa! As the tide keeps changing. Oh man, that's beautiful. I can't get over there though. I'm having to keep an eye on. Good grief, look at this. I've lifted the camera up a bit higher than I normally do as well, just to have half a chance of not killing it. So I've just got it on cable release, constant shutter. Uh-oh, that was high. And then when I see a bit of movement over the rocks I'm just holding it down and hoping that one of the 3 to 5 pictures that I'm taking will come out okay. So yeah, F20 this time. Oh. We've had to go up to F20 because it's getting brighter. Like I'm dancing at the side of the cliff here. F20, I can't even tell you what the exposure is. I can't see it long enough. 1/3 of a second. Yeah, ISO 100 still with the grad and the polarizer. So, oh, look at that. Get that movement there. That should be lovely. Fingers crossed. Right. I feel like I'm pushing my luck there, so I'm going to get out of the way before I do get soaked. I really am going to be testing the dynamic range of the XT2, and when I come to edit these pictures, it was still really, really dark. Hope you like this video. We're off to the waterfalls now. So that'll be a separate video, but feel free to, I'll put a link in the bottom there so you can click on that one if you fancy watching that one as well. So we're going to try and make a day of seascape, landscape, everything photography. See if we can make a day of it. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate everybody that subscribed. Means a lot, so really encouraging. It gets me out of bed at like 5 in the morning. Oh, look at that light now. Oh well, we'll see if we can make it. It gets me out of bed at 5 in the morning to come and do these sunrise photographs, which I don't think without the video I would have been able to do this morning. But yeah, it's really, really awesome. Thanks for your support. Check like and subscribe, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.